This doesn't light your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
All right, we're going to change things up here a bit today and start with a viewer question because it's really got me steamed. Today's Twitter question comes from @JRosinski, who wants to know if he should drop Alex Smith for Brian Hoyer. Now, will someone please tell me why everyone is always pissing on Alex Smith? The guy's become the Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL. Not counting the game he left with a concussion early on, he's 23-5 in his last 28 games as a starter. How many quarterbacks in the league have been better than that? Peyton Manning? I'll have to check. I don't even know if he is. Smith currently has the 8th most fantasy points among all quarterbacks with 72. That's more points than Aaron Rodgers, Tony Romo, Robert Griffin, the first, second, or third, more than Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, more than all these quarterbacks that people trip over to try and get. No, you don't drop him for Brian Hoyer. Hoyer's not the reason why the Browns have been playing so well. It's their defense. They have the 3rd best defense in the league. It seems that so many of you are either hit with injuries or looking to replace disappointed performers, so I wanted to give you a few guys that you're likely to find on your waiver list in Week 5. Jay Cutler is finally becoming comfortable with a wide receiver not named Brandon Marshall. 2 weeks ago, Alshon Jeffery was targeted 8 times, nabbing 7 of them, and last week he had 5 receptions for 107 yards and a touchdown. And with Marshall on the other side, he's going to see plenty of one-on-one coverage. And if you wait for another week for confirmation, it's going to be too late. He's going to be gone. Heath Miller was a top 5 fantasy tight end last season, and a knee injury that required surgery kept him from being drafted in many leagues. Last week's 6-catch, 70-yard performance shows that he's healthy and ready for you to add him. Justin Blackmon was suspended for the first 4 games, but he's back this week and he's one of the most talented young receivers in the league. I have absolutely no idea how they're going to try to get him the ball, but rest assured it's going to be a focus for the Jaguars. I have no doubt that as time goes on, he'll be a top-flight fantasy wide receiver. Le'Veon Bell played in his first NFL game last week and was everything that was advertised, contributing in both the running game and the passing game while finding the end zone twice. There were plenty of rush to pick him up, but many of you bypassed him because he's on a bye this week. Grab him now while you can. I saw today where various sites are reporting that Michael Vick has the lowest completion percentage among current starting quarterbacks at 55.1%. What, his legs don't count in fantasy? I don't care what his completion percentage is. He's racked up 87 points in 4 weeks and sits only behind Rivers, Breeze, and Manning. If Darren McFadden misses Sunday's game with his hamstring problem, Rashard Jennings will start at running back, even if Marcel Reese, who's had a knee issue, is active. Now, that said, I don't recommend starting any of the names I just mentioned. I can't tell you how many tweets I received last Monday night complaining that Daniel Thomas was being used too much rather than Lamar Miller. Now, this week Dolphins head coach Joe Philbin said that he used running back Thomas over Miller in the second half of Monday night's drubbing by New Orleans because he wanted Thomas in pass protection. My little Joe, didn't work. Your quarterback was sacked 4 times, losing 33 yards. Look, Miller's averaging 4.6 yards per carry and Thomas' average is only 2.8. Thomas is no fantasy threat to Lamar Miller. If they want to take Miller off the field in max protect situations when they're throwing the ball down the field, what do you care? He's not getting the ball anyway. If you have a question you want answered here on the show, hit me up with a tweet, and if I don't use your question, I'll tweet you back with my best advice. Unless, of course, you pester me with like 50,000 questions wanting me to manage your whole team. And be sure to tune into the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News Notes and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was, the week that will be, and answering your viewer questions. Enjoy the game tonight, everyone. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch the Cleveland Browns play defense, I think you'll be in for a treat. I'll be surprised if this one was high scoring. Absent special team TDs, I think the under 40.5 is pretty safe. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow.